Good morning, my dear grade 7 learners. Welcome to Valenzuela Live Science 7, where learning science is truly amazing. I hope you are all doing fine because this day is a new day for you to learn, explore, and discover more about science. As we proceed with our new lesson today, you will be able to explain why seasons occur. But before we go on to our lesson, let us have first a short activity to find out if you still remember our last topic. We will read the questions carefully and I will give you 5 seconds to figure out the letter of the correct answer. Use the comment section to type in your answer. Are you ready? Let us start. Question number 1. What do you call to the movement of the Earth around the Sun in its orbit? A. Rotation. B. Revolution. Please key in now your answer in the comment section. Alright, let us now reveal the answer. And the correct answer is letter B, revolution. Every year or every 365 and 1/4 days, Earth makes one complete orbit around the Sun. And that movement is called revolution. Let us proceed to the second question. Earth spins on its axis. What do you call this Earth movement? A. Rotation. B. Revolution. Key in your answer now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter A, rotation. Earth's rotation is completed in about 24 hours. This is called the daily motion of the Earth. This motion is responsible for the appearance of day and night. Are you ready for the third question? Here we go. The Earth revolves around the Sun in an blank orbit. A. Round. B. Elliptical. Enter now your answer in the comment section. And the correct answer is letter B, elliptical. The planets in the solar system orbit the Sun in elliptical orbit just like an elongated circle. Let us proceed to the fourth question. Which of the statements best explains why it is warmer at the equator than at the North Pole? A. The equator has a larger area than the North Pole. B. The equator receives more direct sunlight than the North Pole. Write the correct letter in our comment section. And let us now reveal the answer. It is letter B. The equator receives more direct sunlight than the North Pole. Sun's ray is directly received by the places near the equator, and as the latitude increases, the smaller the angle of the sun rays strike the surface. And for our last question, it refers to the only time when both the northern and southern hemisphere experience roughly equal amounts of daytime and nighttime. A. Equinox. B. Solstice. Use the comment section to type in your answer. Let us now reveal the correct answer. The answer is letter A. Equinox. On 2 days a year, both hemispheres receive equal hours of day and night. That is called equinox. While The solstice is when the sun is its greatest distance from the equator. Very good, grade 7 students. You are all excellent and amazing. With that, I know you are now all ready for the continuation of our lesson. One of my favorite musical boy bands during 90s has these lyrics on one of their songs. It goes like this. We had joy, we have fun, we had seasons in the sun. Maybe you are not familiar with the song, but let us be familiar with the connection of sun and seasons. You know that the sun is important, and it is in the center of the solar system. You also know that our planet Earth orbits the sun every 365 and 1/4 days. And as it orbits, it spins on its axis too. Imagine that there is a straight pole that went through the center of the Earth from North Pole to South Pole. This is the Earth's axis. Axis is an imaginary line which the Earth turns around. But the Earth axis doesn't go straight up and down. The Earth axis is tilted on the side at 23.5 degrees. So when the Earth rotates around the sun, half of it is leaning away towards the sun, while half of it is leaning away. So when we put together the Earth's tilt on its axis and the angle of sunlight when it hits the Earth, you will get the yearly pattern we call seasons. Each season lasts about 3 months and brings changes in temperature, weather, and the length of daylight. Can you determine the season being shown in this illustration? You can type your answer in our comment section. For our first illustration, very good, it is winter. Winter is cold and it snows in many places. Some animals like bears hibernate in the winter, while other animals like birds migrate to warmer climates. How about this next illustration? Yes, you got it right. Summer. Summer is hot. It is when kids are usually out of the school and we take vacations to the beach. Often, crops are harvested at the end of the summer. How about this next illustration? Can you guess it right? Let us see. What season does it represent? Wow, good job! It represents autumn or fall. In autumn, the leaves changes colors and fall off the trees. For our last illustration, what season does it represent? You got it right. It represents spring. In the spring, animals are born and plants come back to life. Very good, grade 7 learners. Well done. The year is divided into 4 seasons. These are winter, autumn or fall, spring, and summer. During seasons, hours of daylight and weather may vary greatly depending on your location on Earth. Do you wonder why there are seasons? Since the Earth is tilted, For part of the year, one of the hemispheres, which is half of the Earth, is leaning toward the sun, and the other part of the Earth is leaning away. In June solstice, June 21 or 22, the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, getting a lot of direct sunlight. So, it means it is experiencing summer, wherein temperature is warm, days are longer, and nights are shorter. Therefore, June, July, and August are summer months in the northern hemisphere. At the same time, the southern hemisphere points away from the sun, creating winter during the months of June, July, and August. Starting December 21 or 22, vertical rays from the sun are directed towards the southern hemisphere. As a result, it receives the most direct sunlight, so it is summer. At the same time, the northern hemisphere experiences winter because it receives indirect sun rays. Therefore, cooler temperature, shorter days will be experienced. Indirect sunlight means that the light is hitting or striking the hemisphere at an angle. The angle at which the sun strikes the Earth's surface affects the amount of the energy and consequently the heat that is received. But what happens during spring and autumn? During these two seasons, the poles are neither tilted nor away from the sun. The Earth in March and September is in equinox. If you still remember, equinox means there is equal length of days and nights. The duration of a day is generally 12 hours all over the Earth. On March 21 or 22, the northern hemisphere will experience spring or vernal equinox. Opposite to southern hemisphere that will experience autumn or autumnal equinox. Lastly, on September 21 or 22, the northern hemisphere will experience autumn or fall, while the southern hemisphere will experience spring. Again, during these two seasons, the poles are neither tilted nor away from the sun. Because of that, temperatures during spring and fall are moderate, not too hot and not too cold, since the entire globe is getting about the same amount of direct sunlight. But always remember that different countries have different seasons because it greatly depends on your location on Earth. Just like the Philippines, we do not experience 4 seasons because we are located around the middle of Earth or near the equator, where direct sun rays strike through, resulting to higher temperature. According to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA, the Philippines has 2 seasons using temperature and rainfall as basis. The wet season from June to November and the dry season from December to May. But the rainy season does not come at the same time in different places in the Philippines. For example, the rainy seasons along the western part of the country occurs when the habagat blows, while the rainy season on the eastern part of the country occurs upon the arrival of amihan. In certain places of the Philippines, the dry season is further subdivided into the cool dry seasons from December to February and hot dry season from March to May. Learners always remember these concepts. The Earth rotates on its axis that is tilted at an angle of about 23.5 degrees. This tilting causes the North Pole or South Pole to lean toward or away from the sun at different times of the year, which results in the occurrence of different seasons. These seasons are spring, summer, fall, and winter. Each has its own pattern of weather and varying hours of sunlight during the days. The northern and southern parts of Earth have different seasons at the same time. For example, when it is winter in Europe in the northern part, it is summer in Australia in the southern part. This difference is due to which part of the Earth is nearest the sun at a certain time of the year. However, places around the middle of Earth have one season all year or only two seasons, dry and wet, just like the Philippines. Now, let us check your understanding of the lesson through this simple activity. We will read the question carefully and choose the letter of the correct answer. You have 5 seconds to type your answer in the comment section. Are you ready, grade 7 learners? Let us start. For question number 1, if it is winter in the southern hemisphere, what is the season in the northern hemisphere? A. Winter, B. Summer, C. Autumn, or D. Spring? You may now type the correct answer in the comment section, and your 5 seconds starts now. Time is up. Let us now reveal the answer. The correct answer is letter B, summer. Let us proceed to the second question. Seasons are caused by the Earth's blank. A. Orbit and tilted axis. B. Tilted axis and size. Letter C. Orbit and distance from the sun. Or letter D. Orbit and distance from the moon. Think of the correct answer carefully and type it in our comment section. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time is up. Let us now reveal the answer. The correct answer is letter A, orbit and tilted axis. For our question number 3, Earth's axis is tilted on what degree? A, 25.3 degrees. Letter B, 23.5 degrees. Letter C, 32.5 degrees. Or letter D, 35.2 degrees. Are you confident with your answer? Please type it in our comment section. Time is up. Let's reveal the answer. The correct answer is Letter B, 23.5 degrees. Second to the last question. During which season in the northern hemisphere does the sun rays hit the earth at the most direct angle? A. Summer. B. Winter. C. Spring. Or letter D. Autumn. Key in your answer now in the comment section. Time is up. The correct answer for question number 4 is letter A, summer. And for the last question, how many times each year do we have days in which the day and night are of equal duration? A, 1, B, 2, 3, C, letter C, 3, or letter D, 4. Please type your answer in our comment section. Time is up. Let us now reveal the answer. The correct answer is letter B, 2, the vernal equinox and the autumnal equinox. And that's it, my dear grade 7 learners. I hope you understand why seasons occur. For you to further gain more knowledge about seasons, complete the following tasks in your module. Activity Seasons Part A to Part C, what I learned, what can I do about it, and challenge. Now, it is time for our question and answer. If you have questions and some clarification, just type it in the comment section. For the first question, what will happen if the Earth's axis is not tilted? That is a very interesting question. If the Earth is not tilted and orbited in an upright position around the Sun, basically, we would not have any seasons, and there would be minor changes in temperatures and precipitation throughout each year. Next question, what do direct rays mean? Direct rays mean that the rays of the sun hit the ground at 90 degrees. The rays are vertical or perpendicular to the ground. When the sun's rays strike the ground at high angle, each square meter of the ground receives a greater amount of solar energy than when the rays are inclined. And for the last question, will climate change affect seasons? This is a very timely question. And according to studies, warmer global temperatures cause shifting seasons. It means that the winters are shorter, spring is earlier, summers are longer, and fall arrives later. That is why scientists believe that these changes can have a variety of impacts on ecosystems and human society. This only tells us that we, including you learners, have a responsibility toward the planet. Let us all serve as stewards or guardians of the earth. There you have it, grade 7 learners. I hope you learned a lot and had fun with today's lesson. Thank you for listening and participating in our class today. Always keep safe and stay at home. God bless everyone.